Emma, a 24-year-old woman, lived alone in a small apartment in the city. She spent most of her time scrolling through Instagram and TikTok. She followed celebrities and influencers. She watched how they posted pictures of expensive clothes, luxury cars, and perfect vacations. She wanted to live like them, but she did not have the money or lifestyle. One night, she decided she would not wait for success to come naturally. She told herself she could fake it until she made it. She opened a new Instagram account and called it at Real Emma Star. She planned to create a completely different life online. In this life, she would be rich, happy, and popular. Emma took a picture of herself in a clothing store changing room, wearing a dress she could not afford. She cropped the background so no one could see the store. She added a caption saying she just bought the dress for a party in Paris. People started liking the post within minutes. She felt a rush of excitement. To look more popular, Emma bought 5,000 fake followers online. Her follower count jumped overnight. People who saw her page thought she was an influencer. This made her more confident to post more fake updates. Emma borrowed a friend's car and pretended it was hers. She took photos in the driver's seat holding a coffee cup, and tagged the location as Beverly Hills even though she had never left her city. To make her life look more interesting, Emma started posting pictures with a male friend, acting like they were dating. She posted couple photos with captions about love and travel plans. People began to comment on how perfect they looked together. In 2 months, Emma's page grew to 100,000 followers. Brands started messaging her for promotions. Some even sent her free products. She was making money from her fake image and she loved the attention. One day, a real follower asked if she could meet Emma in person. Emma lied, saying she was traveling overseas. This became a problem because she had to keep making excuses to avoid meeting anyone in real life. Emma stopped hanging out with her real friends. She spent all her time creating content and editing photos. She even photoshopped herself into famous tourist spots she had never visited. One night, Emma received a direct message from someone she didn't know. The message said, "I know you're lying." She ignored it, but she felt uneasy. She did not know that this was the first step to her entire fake life falling apart. The next morning, Emma woke up and checked her phone. She had many new likes and comments, but her eyes went straight to the same message she saw last night, "I know you're lying." It came from an account with no profile picture and no posts. Emma decided to ignore the message. She told herself it was just a jealous person. She continued posting pictures. That day she uploaded a photo of herself in a fancy restaurant, pretending she was in Dubai. 2 days later, the same account sent another message. This time it said, "Stop lying or I will tell everyone." Emma's hands began to shake. She looked around her small apartment and felt exposed even though she was alone. Emma started scrolling through her old posts. She wondered if there was something in the pictures that could reveal the truth. She noticed a photo where the same building from her street was in the background, even though the caption said she was in Italy. She began thinking of people who might want to ruin her. She thought of her old classmates, some of whom didn't like her. She thought of her neighbor who had seen her take many staged pictures outside. Emma decided to block the anonymous account. She felt a little better, but she couldn't shake the feeling that the person might create another account to reach her. To distract herself, Emma staged a fake charity event. She posted a picture of herself with bags of clothes, saying she donated them to an orphanage in Ghana. In reality, the clothes belonged to her roommate, and the photo was taken in their shared living room. The next day, the anonymous account returned with a new profile. It sent her a photo of her walking into her apartment building, the same building she pretended she didn't live in anymore. The message read, "You can't hide." Emma's heart raced. This meant the person knew where she lived. She closed her curtains and locked her door. She stayed off social media for the rest of the day, but she knew she couldn't disappear without losing her followers. That night, Emma told herself she would keep going no matter what. She decided that if the person wanted to expose her, she would make her fake life so big that people wouldn't believe anything bad about her. She didn't know this choice would make everything worse. 3 days later, Emma woke up and opened her Instagram. At first, everything looked normal. She had hundreds of likes and new followers. Then she saw several angry comments under her recent post. They said things like, "This is fake," and "Why are you lying to people?" Emma searched for the source and found that the anonymous account had now made its profile public. The person had posted a thread of side-by-side pictures, one showing Emma's fake posts, and the other showing the real locations or situations. One example was her Dubai photo compared to a photo of the same restaurant, which was actually in her city. Another was the Paris dress picture, matched with proof it was taken in a local store. The thread was spreading fast. Within hours, hundreds of people unfollowed her. Some sent her direct messages calling her a fraud. Others laughed at her and tagged their friends. Emma's stomach turned. She felt her online empire slipping away. Emma posted a video saying the rumors were lies and that people were trying to bring her down. She smiled in the video and spoke confidently, but her voice shook a little. She hoped her most loyal fans would defend her. Instead of helping, the video made things worse. People commented that she was clearly nervous and hiding the truth. Some even shared clips of her voice trembling, using it as proof she was lying. By the end of the day, 2 brands that had agreed to pay her for promotions canceled their deals. They said they couldn't be associated with someone involved in a public scandal. Emma felt like her income was vanishing overnight. That evening, she received another message from the anonymous account. It said, "This is only the beginning. Tell the truth, or I will show them everything." This made her panic even more. She wondered what else the person had on her. Emma realized the person must have been following her for a long time. They knew where she lived, what she did, and which lies she told. She stayed up late, afraid to sleep, checking her phone every few minutes. By midnight, Emma decided she needed to find out who the person was before they ruined her completely. She thought about going to the police, but she feared they wouldn't take her seriously. Instead, she decided she would track them down herself. Emma sat in her apartment with her phone in her hand. She kept reading the blackmailer's last message. She decided she would not wait for them to strike again. She was going to find out who it was, even if it meant leaving her comfort zone. She opened her Instagram and went through her followers list. She searched for new accounts that had followed her in the last few weeks. She looked for anyone with no profile picture or very few posts. One account caught her attention. It had only 2 posts, both unrelated to anything personal. The account had followed her shortly before the first blackmail message. She wrote down the username. Emma decided to ask some of her old friends if they recognized the account. She sent screenshots to 3 people she trusted. 2 said they didn't know it, but one replied saying, "I think that's Michael's burner account." Michael was an old classmate who had openly mocked her in high school. She remembered how he used to call her fake because she always wanted attention. She had not spoken to him in years. Emma searched for Michael on Facebook. She found his profile and saw that he still lived in the same city. She also noticed a photo of him taken outside the same building where she lived. She connected the dots. Michael knew where she lived. Michael had reason to dislike her. Michael had the skills to expose her because he worked in digital marketing. Emma decided to set a trap. She posted a fake story on Instagram saying she was going to a private party at a rooftop hotel that night. Her plan was to wait in the lobby and see if Michael would show up to catch her lying. That evening, she dressed up and went to the hotel lobby. She sat in a corner, pretending to scroll through her phone. After 40 minutes, she saw Michael walk in, holding his phone, looking around the room as if he was searching for someone. Emma's heart pounded. She was now certain Michael was behind the account. But instead of confronting him right away, she quietly left the hotel. She wanted to think carefully about her next move. The next morning, Emma woke up with one goal in mind. She was going to confront Michael. She rehearsed what she would say in her head. She wanted to sound confident and in control, even if she was nervous inside. Emma checked Michael's Facebook and Instagram for clues. She saw that he often visited a small coffee shop near the city center. She decided to go there around the same time he usually posted his coffee pictures. Emma arrived at the coffee shop 30 minutes earlier than the time Michael normally came. She sat at a table near the window so she could see him arrive. She ordered a coffee she didn't even want, just to avoid suspicion. Exactly at the time she expected, Michael walked in. He was wearing a black hoodie and jeans. He ordered his drink and sat down at a table in the corner, facing the door. He took out his phone immediately. Emma stood up and walked straight to his table. She did not give him time to notice her from a distance. When she reached him, she said, "We need to talk." Michael looked up slowly, surprised to see her. Without sitting down, Emma said, "I know it's you. You've been sending me those messages. You've been trying to ruin me." Michael smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. He leaned back and crossed his arms. Michael said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He claimed he hadn't spoken to her in years and didn't care about her social media. He acted confused, but his eyes didn't match his words. Emma sat down without asking and told him about the fake hotel story. She explained how she saw him there looking for her. Michael didn't respond right away. He just took a sip of his coffee and looked at her quietly. Finally, Michael said, "I wasn't looking for you. I was looking for someone else. But now that you've said this, maybe you should be asking why someone else told me where you'd be." Emma froze. She realized that if Michael wasn't the blackmailer, then there was someone else who not only knew her lies but also knew about her movements. Her plan to expose him had backfired, and now she had more questions than answers. Emma left the coffee shop without saying goodbye to Michael. She felt uneasy. If he wasn't the one sending the messages, then she had wasted her time and possibly warned the real blackmailer that she was suspicious. When she reached the street, she checked her phone. She had a new message from the anonymous account. It said, "Nice meeting your friend. Did you tell him everything?" This confirmed the blackmailer had been watching her. Emma stopped walking and looked around. She didn't see anyone following her, but she now knew the blackmailer could see her in real life. This made the situation feel much more dangerous than before. She thought about reporting the situation to the police, but she had no proof of who the person was. She also feared that her lies would come out if she involved the authorities. Another message came in. It said, "If you want me to stop, meet me tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the old train station parking lot. Come alone." Emma's hands shook as she read it. Emma was scared, but she also wanted to know who was behind this. She thought if she met the person she could negotiate or at least find a way to record them. That night, she charged her phone and cleared space to record video. She planned to keep it hidden in her bag so she could capture the meeting without the blackmailer knowing. The next day at 5:50 p.m., Emma arrived at the old train station parking lot. It was almost empty. She parked her car in a corner and waited. She kept looking at the entrance to see who would arrive. At exactly 6 p.m., a black SUV pulled in and parked across from her. The driver stepped out and to Emma's shock, it was her roommate Claire. Claire looked calm as if she had been expecting this moment. Claire walked up to Emma's car and said, "I told you not to lie to me. Now you're going to do exactly what I say, or I'll make sure everyone sees the rest." Emma realized this wasn't just about jealousy. Claire had a bigger plan, and Emma had no idea what it was yet. Emma stared at Claire in shock. She had lived with her for over a year and never suspected her of anything like this. Claire leaned against the car door and looked down at Emma with a cold expression. Claire told Emma she would not expose her if Emma agreed to do what she wanted. She made it clear that if Emma refused, every follower, every brand, and every person in her family would receive proof of her lies. Claire explained that she had been watching Emma's fake lifestyle for months. She knew how much money Emma was making from her followers. She wanted half of it every month transferred directly to her bank account. Emma asked how Claire got all the pictures and information. Claire revealed that she had been secretly recording Emma's photo shoots in their apartment and following her whenever she left to take staged pictures. She had hundreds of videos and photos ready to use as evidence. Claire said she didn't do it out of jealousy. She did it because she was broke and needed money. She saw Emma's fake fame as an easy opportunity to create her own income without working for it. Emma felt trapped. She couldn't go to the police because that would mean admitting she had lied to her followers and brands. She also knew Claire's proof was strong enough to ruin her instantly. Claire pulled out her phone and showed Emma a folder of videos labeled Emma's Lies. She said she had already uploaded copies to a cloud account, so even if Emma destroyed her phone, the evidence would still exist. Claire told Emma she had 48 hours to transfer the first payment. She also said Emma would now have to include her in some of her fake posts so that Claire could start gaining followers for her own account. Before leaving, Claire leaned closer and whispered, "If you try anything, I'll make sure your fall is bigger than your rise." She then walked back to her SUV and drove away without looking back. Emma sat in her car for a long time after Claire left. She felt cornered. She didn't want to give Claire money, but she also couldn't afford for the truth to come out. She knew she had to make a choice quickly, and whichever choice she made could destroy her. Emma drove home that night with one clear thought in her mind. She was not going to hand over money to Claire. She decided she would pretend to agree for now, but secretly work on a plan to take control of the situation. When she got back to the apartment, Claire was in the kitchen. Emma greeted her as if nothing had happened. She even made small talk about groceries and upcoming posts. She wanted Claire to think she had accepted the deal. Emma began secretly recording their conversations on her phone. She left it on the table during meals and in the living room during casual chats, hoping Claire would repeat any threats. She also started backing up all the recordings to her own cloud account. She spent hours online researching blackmail and extortion laws. She learned that if she could get proof of Claire demanding money or threatening her, she could have a legal case without having to admit everything about her fake posts. Emma decided to offer Claire a first payment, but in a way that would force her to confirm the blackmail on camera. She told Claire she could not transfer money online but could give it in cash the next day. Emma borrowed a tiny hidden camera from a tech store under the excuse of needing it for content creation. She placed it inside a decorative vase in the living room, facing the couch where Clare usually sat. The next day, Emma laid an envelope with fake money on the table. When Clare arrived, Emma casually said, "Here's the first payment, just like you demanded." She made sure to repeat, "just like you demanded," clearly so it would be caught on camera. Clare laughed and picked up the envelope. She said, "Good. Keep doing this every month and we won't have a problem." That was the exact kind of proof Emma needed. Emma didn't react. She let Clare leave with the fake money and acted as if she was nervous about the deal. Inside, she felt a small sense of victory. She now had solid evidence that Clare was blackmailing her. That night, Emma watched the recording 3 times to be sure it was clear. She now had a choice: go to the police immediately or use this evidence to turn the tables on Clare in her own way. She leaned toward the second option, thinking it would be more satisfying to ruin Clare herself. Emma woke up early the next day with a clear strategy. She would make Clare's greed work against her. Instead of going to the police, she decided to expose Clare in a way that would destroy her online and socially, just like she had tried to do to Emma. Emma created several fake collaboration offers using an email account she made under a fake brand name. She sent the offers to Clare's email, pretending to be a company that wanted to work with her after seeing her in Emma's posts. Within hours, Clare replied to the fake brand. She bragged about her growing influence and claimed she had worked with big companies before. Emma read the emails and smiled, knowing Clare was walking straight into her trap. Emma posted photos of herself and Clare together, tagging fake luxury locations. She knew Clare would repost them to make herself look richer and more important. This was part of her plan to build fake evidence of Clare lying online. For the next 2 weeks, Emma collected screenshots of Clare's lies, including her pretending to own designer bags that Emma had rented for photo shoots. She also saved all the fake brand emails where Clare exaggerated her fame. Emma created a new anonymous Instagram account and began posting side-by-side pictures showing Clare's lies, much like the blackmailer had done to her. She included clips from the hidden camera video where Clare demanded monthly payments. Within hours, people started attacking Clare online. Her follower count began dropping. Some brands she had been talking to blocked her. Clare panicked and posted a long message claiming she was being framed. That night, Clare stormed into the apartment and accused Emma of being behind the account. Emma stayed calm and denied it. She said, "Maybe someone is just doing to you what you did to me." Over the next few days, Clare's online presence collapsed. Friends stopped talking to her. People shared the blackmail video across social media. Her reputation was ruined and she had no way to rebuild it quickly. Emma watched it all unfold without saying a word. She had taken back control without exposing her own lies to the world. But deep down she knew she was still living a fake life, and that sooner or later someone else might try to bring her down again. Emma woke up feeling a little stronger. Clare's accounts were falling apart online. People were leaving mean comments for Clare. Emma thought she had won. She sat with her phone and watched the screen go quiet for a moment. She felt a small relief. At 9:12 a.m. she got an email from an address she did not know. The subject line read, "Draft story, confirm details." The sender was an entertainment reporter at a popular site. Emma opened the message with a hand that shook. The email had a link to a draft article. The draft had screenshots, video stills, and file names that matched photos and clips from Emma's apartment. The draft said the reporter had received the full folder of Emma's staged content and the hidden camera video. It said the article would go live at noon if nobody contested the facts. Emma read deeper. The reporter wrote that the files had come from a cloud account shared by Clare. The reporter also included a line saying a source had confirmed Clare uploaded the folder 3 days before. That meant Clare had already given the files away while she was still trying to use them to blackmail Emma. Emma called Clare immediately. The call went straight to voicemail. She sent texts and DMs. None of them were answered. Clare's social accounts showed she was online earlier, but she did not reply. Emma could not find a way to stop the email or the draft. Emma wrote back to the reporter. She typed short sentences and tried to explain that Clare had been blackmailing her. The reporter answered once and asked for proof of the blackmail. Emma sent the hidden camera clip and a copy of Clare's demand messages. The reporter replied that they already had those files and that the article would still run. At noon, the article went up. The headline named Emma and showed a set of photos side by side. The article listed dates, timestamps, and links to Clare's cloud folder. It quoted messages and included the snippet from the hidden camera where Clare demanded money. The article did not hide the fact that many of Emma's posts were staged. Within an hour, brands that had contacted Emma removed her from their lists. Her follower count dropped by tens of thousands. People she had thought were fans wrote angry messages. Her phone buzzed with emails from people asking for refunds from paid events. Her messages became full of hate. Her sister texted, "Is this true?" Her mother called and asked for an honest answer. Emma tried to explain, but parts of her story were already in the article. Some family members had seen the piece and were hurt. Old friends sent screenshots and wrote cold words. Emma felt the life she had built online collapse in front of her. That evening, as she sat on her couch, Emma got one more notification. It was from the original anonymous account that started the thread months earlier. The message read, "We told you to stop. This is what happens when you lie." The account had one small change. It now linked to the published article. Emma saw the damage was bigger than she thought. Claire had handed the files to someone who would make money from them. Claire's attempt to blackmail had turned into a sale. Emma had tried to fight back, but the files were already in public hands. There was no quick fix and no safe secret left. Emma sat with the phone and thought about the next step. She could go to the police and show proof that Claire had extorted her. She could try to issue a public apology and hope people would forgive her. She could also leave town and start again. None of the choices would erase the article or the evidence. She realized her choices now would shape her life in a new and harder way.
The end.
Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you find this video interesting, do well to hit the subscription button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for new stories.